7% of the world's oil supply. That's what a regional militia with speedboats, drones, and second-hand missiles just threatened to choke off overnight. In July 2026, the Houthi militia in Yemen announced a total naval blockade on Saudi Arabia. Almost immediately, massive cargo vessels that were navigating the region received the signal and abruptly altered their course. This visualization of global energy markets shows exactly why the shipping industry panicked. Saudi Arabia relies on these waters to export its oil. By threatening those ports, the Houthis positioned themselves to choke off roughly 7% of the entire global oil supply overnight. The geography makes this possible. To access Saudi ports, ships must pass through the Red Sea and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a narrow bottleneck between Yemen and Africa. Roughly 12% of global trade is forced through this tiny corridor. By pointing their weapons at a strip of water barely 20 miles wide, a regional militia successfully held world energy markets hostage. To understand how they pulled this off, we have to rewind to late 2023. The Houthis, an Iran-aligned militia controlling most of northern Yemen, began weaponizing this exact choke point, originally claiming their attacks were acts of solidarity with Gaza. They fired missiles and launched explosive drones at passing freighters. Over the next year, they attacked more than 50 commercial ships, sinking vessels, taking sailors hostage, and actively forcing international shipping companies to reroute completely around the entire continent of Africa. What started as localized harassment of cargo ships acted as a tripwire. It forced a massive multi-phase military response from the world's wealthiest nations. The United States and its allies stepped in to secure the water. They launched Operation Prosperity Guardian to escort commercial vessels, and quickly followed up with Operation Poseidon Archer, dropping precision munitions directly onto Houthi radar and missile sites. A predictable rhythm set in. The Houthis would attack a ship, the US and UK would bomb a launch site in Yemen, and the Houthis would claim civilian casualties. The strikes destroyed infrastructure, but the missiles kept flying. By March 2025, the US abandoned the piecemeal retaliation strategy. For the next 7 weeks, American and British forces subjected Houthi territory to a sustained heavy air campaign. Official US and Yemeni estimates state the 7-week bombardment killed 500 to 600 Houthi combatants. However, the Houthis claimed only 123 deaths. Meanwhile, independent Monitor Airways reported 224 civilian casualties. These massive discrepancies reveal the difficulty of verifying strikes in closed-off territories. We know the exact material cost to the US military. They lost to Boeing FAE-18 Super Hornet fighter jets and 7 highly advanced MQ-9 Reaper drones. The US dropped thousands of pounds of explosives, absorbing the loss of expensive military hardware. Despite this overwhelming application of conventional firepower, the Houthis absorbed the damage and maintained their capabilities. They proved this the following year, when the wider war with Iran broke out in early 2026. The Houthis did not lay low. They actively joined the conflict, firing ballistic missiles and drones thousands of miles north toward Israeli cities, including Eilat and Tel Aviv. By July 2026, they turned their attention back to their immediate neighbors, exchanging airstrikes with Saudi Arabia, and declaring their naval blockade on Saudi oil. In under 3 years, the Houthis climbed the escalation ladder. They successfully transitioned from a domestic rebel group taking potshots at cargo ships into a highly capable, active second front in a massive regional war. Blocking Saudi exports spikes the cost of energy globally, but the severe immediate danger of this blockade is the bandwidth demanded from the US military. This map shows current US deployments in the region. More than 20 Navy warships and hundreds of military aircraft are currently operating in the Middle East, entirely locked into the escalating war with Iran. Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense Michael Mulroy points out that the Houthis have already proven they possess both the willingness and the physical ability to obstruct maritime traffic in the Red Sea. Mark Conchin at the Center for Strategic and International Studies notes that opening a second combat theater near Yemen forces the U.S. to divert critical intelligence gathering, air defense systems, and naval assets away from the primary conflict. The United States operates the best-funded military in the world, but fighting a conventional war against a state actor like Iran while simultaneously attempting to neutralize a highly adaptable proxy militia Holding global oil markets hostage pushes those resources to their absolute limit. This war within a war is developing in real time, and the strain on global trade and military deployments is compounding by the day. Subscribe to our channel to follow this conflict as the situation on the ground continues to evolve.